Good morning. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. There's been a mountain of information come out in recent weeks as the government support packages and other assistance through the banking industry have been announced. It's a pressure cooker situation at the moment with huge concerns for our livelihoods, and we all want the information fast about what it all means to us. So today, we'd like to, in this webinar, outline some of the key government tax and cash support measures and speak in more detail about two in particular. Firstly, the cash flow boost and the JobKeeper payment scheme. So the business cash flow boost support payment was announced in the first and second stimulus package a few weeks ago. And just this week, the JobKeeper payment package, which commenced on Monday, was announced. And Tammy will shortly go into further details on these two measures. There's also a link in the email with a summary of the JobKeeper information. Both of the above initiatives are going to be most valuable to clients with their own medical practices, and we think some of our sole trader GP clients may also be eligible, but we're still clarifying this at the moment. And the employees of the above businesses and businesses in general, even if they've been retrenched or stood down since the 1st of March this year. Another measure which was announced in the second stimulus package was the ability to withdraw super. So in terms of, you know, cash assistance or cash help keep ticking things along, this is probably the third most valuable in a sense. And this measure will assist with cash needs with the ability to access up to $20,000 from super. And the conditions are that you have to be either unemployed or eligible to receive the JobKeeper payment or Services Australia benefit, or on or after the 1st of January this year were made redundant, or working hours reduced by 20% or more, or if you're a sole trader and the business was suspended, or there was a reduction in turnover of 20% or more. So that's a mouthful of information there about eligibility on this. However, I think there's probably some opportunity for some of our clients to benefit from this on the turnover reduction test. And if eligible, the money can be withdrawn in two lots of $10,000, one before 30th of June and the second from the 1st of July. No tax is payable on the amount released. And to apply, you need to go onto the MyGov account, through your MyGov account on the website, and put in your details there. We're currently assessing, you know, the eligibility under the, as I mentioned, under the reduced turnover test, to see if there are clients who have this option available to them. So cash flow boost, JobKeeper payments, and ability to withdraw money from super are some key measures that will help many of our clients through this difficult period. Turning to private practice, I mean, it's been really concerning for us to learn, you know, that virtually, you know, most of the work from private work has dried up with the ceasing of elective type work in the hospital system. And in this environment, you know, we think cash flow is going to be really critical going forward. And we're here to help with that, and we have the tools and sort of the knowledge and the skills to be able to assist you with that side of it. Clients that have got a WealthScope account with us, where they've got their bank accounts linked to WealthScope, will readily be able to get that information in terms of what expenses they have had and what ongoing costs they will have. So they can easily tap into that. But if they don't, then just basically go off your bank records and information you can download from your bank. And there is a really great tool on the Money Smart website, which is a downloadable spreadsheet, which you can use to create a simple cash flow budget And I think it's going to be really critical what's expected to come in over coming months, and what our ongoing obligations are. And obviously those things going hand in hand with the benefits that you can achieve working with us through the cash flow assist, through JobKeeper, through super, through also things like the 6-month stay on loan repayments with the banks and any other benefits that come along. And these things have been announced by the day. I think just overnight there's been a free childcare family relief package announced, which is worth $3 billion. So there's a mountain of stuff there, and we're sort of just saying that we're here to help in whatever way we can. Also, the ATO is granting tax and payment concessions to clients. And this is going to also be valuable in alleviating the burden on tax payments that are coming due. Now, the issue we have here is that we've had income from prior years where we're lodging in tax returns for clients for the 2019 tax year. And we've had clients earn good income up until from July last year to date. And now all of a sudden, a lot of this income is drying up. However, they're going to have a tax obligation for tax to pay in May or March, or April, sorry, on income that was earned nearly 12 months ago, 2 years ago. So, so it's going to be really important to be able to slot that in. I think the ATO is going to be very amenable and very responsive to assisting. And some of the measures are the ability to defer tax payments for up to 6 months, being able to switch from quarterly to monthly BAS, and also being able to vary PAYG tax instalments to nil for the 19-20 year. There's a number of things there that we can access to assist and in that area. So I'll hand over to Tammy now to talk about the cash flow boost and the JobKeeper scheme.
Hi everyone. So basically with the cash flow boost, I just wanted to go through a couple of the main points that you need to be eligible for that. So that's the boost from the government to help you pay for the withholding tax on your employees' salaries. So basically, to be eligible to receive any of those payments, you have to have held your ABN for your business back on the 12th of March, which is easily done for most of, of our clients, so no brand new businesses. You've got to have a turnover of $50 million or less, and you have to have been making eligible payments that you're required to withhold from, even if you don't have any actual withholding. So that just means you have to have been paying a salary or wages out to somebody, even if they were under the threshold to actually need any withholding on those salaries. Now, the government's also talking about needing to be up to date with tax returns and BAS lodged, because they're using those to see what your level of income is for those periods, and what they'll also be using the single touch payroll to be able to see what salaries you've been paying for your staff. So those concessions are a minimum of $20,000 for businesses, and the maximum is up to $100,000. So basically, how it will work is for the March quarter will be the first quarter, or if you're a monthly reporting, March will be the first month that you'll be eligible to get any payments. So the payments aren't going to be made until the 28th of April. So you will receive $10,000 on the 28th of April, even if you had zero withholding for that quarter or that month. And right up until, if you have had, say, $20,000 of withholding for that quarter, you'll receive $20,000 of withholding, right up to the maximum of the $50,000. So that's the first concession, the first round of payments. So then what will happen is in the next quarter, the June quarter, if you receive the $10,000, you were eligible to receive the $10,000 for the first quarter, you will receive payments again for the June quarter. So that's even if you have zero withholding again in the June quarter, you'll receive 2 more payments of $5,000 each, one in July, one in October. So that's the minimum amount, the $20,000 all up between April and October that you can be entitled to. So obviously the more withholding that you actually have over and above the $10,000 is, you know, going to depend on how much of the concession you're going to get back. So that's the main idea of the cash flow boost, is just to help employers be able to pay the withholding on their employees' salaries, offer a bit of relief there for people. So we'll send out some more information on that, some more examples and things in the bulletin that we're going to send out, so that you can see, and then you can ask us any questions on your specific situation, and we can get back to you about that. So the next item is the JobKeeper payment. So that's the one where the government's going to be paying out $1,500 per fortnight for eligible businesses that have had their turnover reduced by 30% or more. So they're going to be comparing it to the same time last year for that. So you have to be able to show that compared to this period in this year as opposed to last year, you've lost 30% or more of your revenue. Now, obviously, there's going to be some special concessions for that, because not everyone may have been in business at this time last year. You may be a new business, things like that. So there's going to be some special considerations for people in those situations. There's also some criteria around eligible employees. So you have to have had your employees employed with you as of the 1st of March 2020. And now that is for all permanent staff, but for casual staff, they have to have been employed for at least 12 months. So they will be the employees that will be eligible. It also applies for not-for-profit entities as well. Now, for the employees, their eligible criteria is just that they must be currently employed. So that includes people who have been stood down and rehired again. Some people may have been put off when all of this first started happening. So they can be rehired now and can receive these payments from their employer. So like I said, for part-time, full-time, long-term casuals, so for more than 12 months if you're a casual, they have to be at least 16 years old, must be an Australian citizen, and an employee can only receive it from one employer. So some people are employed through multiple employers. They can only choose the primary employer to receive that payment from. They can't get it from both at the same time. They can receive it from one employer if they are still doing some hours for the second employer, and so they can keep both of those going, but you just can't have 2 JobKeeper payments coming in at the same time. So the minimum amount that they're going to receive is $1,500 per fortnight. So that's before tax. So if you're an employee who perhaps has been earning less than the $1,500 per fortnight, you're still going to receive $1,500 per fortnight. However, if you're an employee who has been receiving more than $1,500 per fortnight, you will continue to receive that same amount of income, and it's up to the employer to cover the gap between the $1,500 and what you would usually get paid. Now, same with the super, it's up to the employer if they pay super on that gap as well. So I think they're the main eligibility criteria. So the subsidy is going to start on the 30th of March. employers aren't going to start receiving those first round of payments until the first week of May. So that's when they'll start to receive funds. They can then start, to pass that on to the employees. So the other item is that sole traders eligible for these JobKeeper payments as well. So if you are a sole trader, you must have, similar to the business criteria, you must have lost 30% of your income. So let's say, for example, if you're a sole trader and let's say you earn gross $400,000 per year, if you're going to lose 30% of that income, say you're working over 46 weeks out of the year, you need to lose roughly just under $9,000 per week of your gross income to be eligible to receive these payments. So you might lose, 1.5 or 2 days of work. And if that's equates to the 30%, then you can receive this $1,500 per fortnight, as well as continue doing, your 3 days a week or however many days of work per week you can get, and still receive that income coming in, as well as the $1,500 per fortnight. So that's a really good incentive, that sole traders can get it as well as any eligible employees. So once again, we'll send out some more information on all of the criteria for these payments, the amounts you can get. At the moment, the way to apply for, first of all, for the cash flow boost, it will automatically, once you lodge your BAS with your withholding figures on, you will automatically start to receive those payments from the 28th of April. And for the JobKeeper payments, at the moment, the only thing we can do is go to the ATO website, which we'll provide you a link for in the email, and just register your interest. So you just have to put in your business name, ABN, your name and phone number, and then as soon as there's more information available, the ATO is going to be sending that out to everybody with what the next step is. So that's all we can do at the moment. We'll send everyone out that information, and you can just let us know if you've got any questions. And yeah, I think that's it from my end.
I think there's a lot of information still coming out, as I mentioned before, and we're just digesting that day by day, trying to look at all the different options that are available for our clients, and we're keen to work with everyone and in their particular situation to determine how we can best get through this from a financial point of view. And we'll be working very hard with the ATO to manage any of the tax liabilities that are coming due over the next 12 months or so. So we want to alleviate some of that concern, because we have a very good relationship with the ATO in the sense of doing that kind of thing. We work for our clients, we don't work for the ATO, but we have a great relationship with them as well. And so going through us on that side of things is really important, because we know how to negotiate the payment plan and get the interest concessions and work that out in terms of your own situation and particular needs.
So we look forward to hearing from everyone. Let us know if you have any questions.
Yep, thank you. And
thank you.
We might finish the seminar here. Thank you.
Bye everyone.